Welcome to Movie Night and Game Day. I'm Eric, and my co host is Kyle from the Movie Spreadsheet. We are two guys who love doing dude stuff. We get comfortable in our favorite spot on the couch, and we watch a hit movie or we quad box our favorite sports. This week, we'll review Tron Ares and Bring Her Back. Then we're playing Hi, My Name Is, where we'll try to guess the name of a famous person based off 5 clues. After that, we're talking superstitions, what to say to invested fans as we get into game day, and we'll end with movie assignments for next week and the subscriber challenge. We ask you to please subscribe, give us a rating and a review, hit the like button on each episode, and comment so you can be a part of movie night and game day along with us. All right, Kyle, I hear the popping is slowing down, so I'll go get the popcorn ready. What's new with you?
I have so many things going on right now, but I'm going to talk to you about my experience going to the Tron, see Tron in the movie theaters. I'm going to talk about that during the Tron segment, but I want to talk about getting AT&T fiber, which has just been groundbreaking for my life. It's just one of those things that I wasn't going to talk about this, but then I was like, you know what, this kind of feels like, remember when like those old school movie stores would always kind of screw us over and charge late fees, and you had these crazy periods, and then we had the ability to finally get Netflix, and it was like, oh wait, I got to stick it back to them by switching over to Netflix and never having to go to one of those movie stores again. That's kind of what it feels like a little bit. So I'm super excited. I gotta ditch my current cable provider, and I'm excited to bring that box in and just drop it off. And I love when you make that phone call and you're like, hey, I'm canceling you. And they're like, oh no, why? Here's our amazing deals and offers. And it's like, where was this when I was your customer? Right? Like, what's going on? So excited to have AT&T fiber finally be able to get those uploads, and we won't have to like make those drop-offs back and forth like we do multiple times each week. What's going on with you, Eric?
Yeah, so I want to say it's always interesting how when you have someone who's a good customer or you have someone who's a good employee, you offer them the better deal when they say we're leaving. Why not just give them the better deal? And I am happy to call out Cox. They are the worst cable provider. Their service, you might have a different opinion on this. Their service actually for cable, I don't find to be too bad in terms of like internet service, but they are just so arrogant as a company. I hope they go out of business. So that's my thought. And yeah, if you knew the back and forth that we were doing to get this uploaded for you guys, this is really exciting. So Kyle, I'm happy for you. So what's new with me? I've been working on remaking, kind of zhuzhing up my photography website. Like before, it had like bad categories. I didn't like the menu. I didn't like the font. Didn't like the descriptions. So I did a lot of work on it over the weekend. We've now got my portfolio so you can see the work that I've been hired for. We also have the gallery where it's like public work. I love going out and taking pictures at Mardi Gras and Red Dress Run here in New Orleans. We have a lot of great stuff to go out and take pictures of. And now I added aerial for all of the drone footage that I'm pulling up. And behind the scenes, I've been working on a new logo, and I'm very excited to be debuting that soon. So it's very close to being done. I'm excited about it, and I want to say thank you to LV, our friend LV. She's been giving lots of feedback and helping with a lot of this. And one thing I want to add, since we're talking about LV anyway, she and I went to Charlie's Steakhouse. Have you ever been there?
I have not.
Okay. It's over by Pascal's. It's like totally old school. I feel like it would be like if you went to Peter Luger's in New York. They don't even have menus. So they tell you what's on the menu. They tell you, what part of the cow is being cooked in the back, and that's what you got. So that was really cool. Kyle, do we have any notable comments or corrections from last week?
I have one. I rewatched it, obviously, and I saw that we referenced Rocket as being a rabbit in Guardians of the Galaxy, and I feel like we should just say Rocket is absolutely a raccoon and not a rabbit. That's all I got. Eric, you got anything?
No, I think I said the wrong name of a movie, but you corrected me in the episode, so we don't have to go back and correct the record. We're good. All right, Kyle, we're getting side eye from the people a few seats down because the movie's starting, so let's get into movie night. Last week, I assigned Tron Ares and Kyle assigned Bring Her Back. For each movie, we've got a quick overview. We talk about our likes and dislikes, and we reveal our scores. Remember, it's not spoiler-free, so make sure you've watched the movies. Kyle, Tron Ares, and your experience. Tell us about it.
Okay, let me tell you about my experience first, all right? So I get my morning lift on. I'm really excited about this. I've been lifting later. Normally I lift at like 5 a.m., but then I read all this information about how like you shouldn't lift that early. It throws off your circadian rhythm and like your cortisol levels are all out of whack. So I'm like, okay, not gonna do that anymore. So I've been lifting later, right? So I get home, I get in the bath, right? Love a bath, and all of a sudden I realize like, oh, I wonder if Tron is showing, and so I check my phone, AMC Premier List app, yes, best app ever. And I'm like, okay, it is playing, and it's playing in like 20 minutes. So I jump out of the bath, get all dressed, I go see it, I get there, and I'm ready to see Tron Ares in IMAX 3D, right? So I'm like really excited about this, right? So I get there, then I go to the bathroom before and all that good stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm like waiting outside. It says the movie starts 25 to 30 minutes after the showtime, and the showtime I think was at 11:45. So it's like 12, 10, or it's like 12:05, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go in the theater right now. It's 12:05. That should give me, it's 20 minutes. I go in at 12:05, and the movie had already started. I'm like, whoa, this is 20 minutes after the start time. This is way too early for the movie to be starting. This is not okay. I don't understand. You said 25 to 30 minutes. So I'm like, whatever. I'll try to figure out how far I am into it. Now I hate this. I gotta tell you, I hate this so much. I hate being late for starts of them. It's like I don't even want to watch it anymore. So I have my glasses, and then I got to put my 3D glasses over top of it, and I feel like it's all like all weird, and I'm like trying to watch the movie on the screen, and it's like starting to make me feel nauseous and give me a headache, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You can't do this. Like, this is not, like, you can't go on the basic little kid ride at the amusement park without feeling sick to your stomach. You need to leave this theater right now. So I'm like, okay, so I get up, right? Walk out of the theater. I go to this really nice old lady at AMC, and also shout out Elmwood AMC for doing this. I was like, hey, can I? This is not it for me. This is making me feel like a little queasy. Is it cool if I go see a different showing? Because it was in like 4 or 5 theaters, at the same time, and it just so happened that a Dolby Digital, the Dolby one with the reclining seats was showing. So I go in there, but now I'm in there at the exact time that the movie starts, which means now I have another 15 minutes of trailers or 20 minutes of trailers. And then it turns out it wasn't 20 minutes of trailers. It was half an hour of trailers for this one. So I'm like, wait a second. How was the other one only 20 minutes? And this one is a full 30 minutes, 8 previews for this one. So get my seat. It gets going. And that was my experience getting into Tron. So I probably wasted about 45 minutes before the movie even started, which I hate wasting time so much. Now let's talk about Tron Ares. Unless, Eric, you got to.
Well, hold on, wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, hold on. So first of all, I had no idea you were a bath person, so that takes me by complete surprise. I don't know if I really have anything else to say, but didn't know that.
Yep.
That we could do a whole episode on bath versus shower. I don't know what happened with your experience with IMAX, because they all show the exact same previews. It doesn't matter which theater you're in. If you're going to see Tron, whether it is at AMC Clearview, AMC Elmwood, IMAX, Dolby, or Regal somewhere else, it's always the exact same previews. So did they jump the gun and start at 10 minutes before the published showtime? I don't know. That's very weird. Yeah, I will say, as a glasses wearer, it's really difficult to go see a 3D movie without having my contacts in.
Yeah.
So, and then I will also say the last thing, when we went to see Tron at Clearview, our entire row, the recliners weren't working. So we ended up moving right at the movie start, just down a couple seats to where the recliners were working. So I'm sorry that was your experience, but I would have left. I probably would have left and come back another day.
That's what I did. I was like, I gotta get out. I can't be here. Like, what are you doing? But I also felt like the recliners. I don't feel like the recliners, and it may not be this way at Clearview, but at Elmwood, they don't go enough. I feel like I can't fully recline back, and my legs can't fully stretch out. Now, like I am I am tall, so I do like
Yeah.
I didn't feel like my legs. So what I have to do is I have to make sure nobody is sitting in front of me, so I can put my feet up on that little like wood paneling that is there, because that's the only way for me to get comfortable. But I still feel like I'm sitting in this really awkward position where I'd like to be like laying back a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah. The only thing is, if it did go back a little bit more, I would 100% fall asleep even at like the 11 a.m. showing.
Yeah,
But
valid point.
yeah. All right, Kyle. Let's get. Were you able to enjoy the movie at all?
Yeah. Let's talk about Tron Ares. I mean, honestly, like when I was sitting there, I was like writing. I have like my little like my phone out, and I'm taking notes, and I'm like, I hate the movies. I hate going to the movies. I hate everything about this. It's so loud. It's all dark. Anyways,
Sorry.
But then the movie like finally starts, and okay, so let's talk about Tron Ares. Tron Ares is it's the third Tron movie, but really it doesn't really connect to the other one. So somebody asked me like, if you had to see the previous two Tron movies to understand this one and like this one, absolutely not. It was totally freestanding from what you'd seen in the previous ones. It basically is about two rival tech companies that are trying to seek a code to make, and I try to figure out what the wording for this is, but objects that are brought in from a digital world into our world permanent, right? Because there was a 29-minute time limit in both the good company and the bad company were seeking this code. And that's essentially what the entire movie is about, is the control of that code, and then ultimately what happens with this like AI technology or cyber technology. Eric, what did I miss, or make that sound a little better for me?
No, I think you hit it right on the nail. Hit the nail right on the head. So I say let's go into what you liked about it.
Okay. Well, I mean, immediately the first thing I liked about it was the fact that I didn't have to watch it in 3D. But let's talk about, like, I love their sunglasses. Like, they brought out the sunglasses. I am such a sucker for a sweet pair of sunglasses. I love the sunglasses that they had. I love the way that hacking is portrayed. Like when they infiltrate, and Ares, Jared Leto's character, is red, and then it's in this blue world. You can see what they're doing. You can see how they're fighting it. And I know that's probably not what's happening in a computer, but like, I can't say for certain it's not happening in a computer. So it's pretty cool to think that like that could be going on in a computer. I thought Jared Leto was just awesome. I think this is such a great casting choice for him. And also like just Ares, great name. Maybe my next cat's name. Hair, glorious from Jared Leto. Like probably my dream hair. Like I think I'm probably going to try to go for that. Because like why not? I thought, like the way that they crashed the plane, there were so many shots in the movie where I was like, that was sick. Like the first time they're driving with the car and the cop car gets split in half, you're like, oh, that was awesome. It just shreds in half. And the way those kind of flying objects kind of like parentheses, like just, I don't even know what the wording for is, but they kind of encapsulated the airplane, and the airplane had to fly perfectly. And then when it like couldn't, it like cut the wings off of it. I just thought that was so awesome. And then, just the sound of the theater. I mean, seeing it in Dolby Digital, I was like, why do people care about Dolby Digital? Like, this doesn't make a lot of sense to me. A little bit too loud for me, right? I'm old. But it was like, whoa. I really felt like I was feeling stuff. And I'll say, I think when they nail the pitch and the tone, it's amazing. But sometimes, like, the loudness drowned it out. Not saying dislike here. And then also, like, when Jared Leto's character turns white, it was like, yo, yes, like new person. He's no longer the red. He's got the white. And I could honestly probably go on for a long time talking about things I liked about this movie. But my last note is just simply, this is the type of movie that you need to go see in a theater. This is a theater movie. This made me really question, like, why am I going to see Strangers 2 in the theater? Why am I going to see some of these movies in theaters I've gone to see? Go see movies like this in the theater. It's totally worth it. And this is even coming from somebody who hates going to theaters like I do. I had so many likes about this one. Eric, what did you like about this movie?
Okay, so I'm going to echo a lot of the things that you just said, but I do want to share a little something. So, first of all, when Ethan and I went to see the movie, he said the exact same thing that you did about the volume. He was like, it was just a little too loud for me. And we were also in Dolby. I didn't feel that way, but I can definitely see why you would feel that way. But also, so Kyle, we went to see it last Friday night. And then I was asking if you were going to go see it in 3D, because I wanted to see the difference between what it was like to see it regular versus 3D, because I bet you it would be nuts to see it in 3D, and I still might go back to the theater just to check it out. I couldn't agree with you more. This is the type of movie that you've got to get to the theater, or you need to know a friend that has a sweet setup with a really nice TV, preferably one that has like OLED technology and surround sound. It's the only other way that you can go see this movie not in the theater. But I agree, go. I love the red. The red just like it popped. It came off the screen like it like drew your eyes in. I loved it. And there was something that happened right at the beginning of the movie. Julian, I believe that's the Evan Peters character, hit a button, and when he hit like the execute button, the entire screen just went like and got red, and then the sound went all over. I was like, we're in. This is fucking awesome. I was just like, I was pumped, and I couldn't wait for the rest of the movie to come. You called out Jared Leto. I'm going to get to him in a second, but I love Gillian Anderson. Shout out Scully. I absolutely love her. And I'm so sorry that you got cast as a mother in a Disney movie, because also a massive shout out, as you talked about, to Jared Leto. I'm going to echo the hair. But also, like, he was perfect for this role because he has his eyes are just unbelievably amazing, and the way that he can stare or look at someone and his eyes don't move, it like kind of added to the fact that he was AI or whatever, Tron or whatever you want to call him. And holy shit, he's 53. He is 53. He looks amazing. And I remember thinking about this a few years back. I saw the movie Morbius, and he's like shirtless in the whole movie. Dude at like late 40s, early 50s. I hope I look like that. A couple other, Jodie Turner-Smith, she was Athena. Whenever she got destroyed and then came back, I felt it. And when Eve, I think Athena went away and Eve was like, she's coming back. You knew it, and you got nervous knowing that she was going to recreate herself. I liked the rule about the 28 or the 29 minutes, whatever it was. It was just really easy to understand and follow along. Two more things. I love when real people in real life are put into that same role, because it gives it authenticity. So specifically, I think about Robin Roberts from Good Morning America. Yes, I don't know why Disney doesn't do this more often. They own ABC. Like, I don't know why you don't use your people to make it even more realistic. It drives me crazy, because this is something that I care about a lot. It drives me crazy when it goes to like some random town in Connecticut and they don't use like the actual local TV station's logos and stuff, and they make shit up. Why would you do that? Shout out to Happy Gilmore too, because they actually use the real TV stations from Connecticut. So I really like that. And then the last thing, this movie reminded me of Mad Max Fury Road, in the sense that it was like brilliant colors on screen and almost nonstop action from the time the movie started until the time the movie ended. I was hooked. I was entertained. I thought it was really cool. So, Kyle, any thoughts on that?
No, I mean, I totally agree with you. I mean, honestly, I never even thought about Jared Leto, the age being how old he is. But I mean, yeah, he doesn't look. I mean, if somebody said he was in his 30s, I'd be like, yeah, okay. Like, I totally could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so Kyle, other than the experience, was there anything you didn't like about the movie?
Man, I could try to nitpick. I mean, and I had like my phone after the movie. I was like, okay, what don't I like about this movie? What don't I like about this movie? And it's like, why even try to spend time trying to figure out what I didn't like about this movie? So I don't really have anything that I disliked about this movie. So I've got no critique here. Eric, what didn't you like about this movie?
Okay, wow, okay. I did not see that coming, and I totally screwed up my guess on you. So, despite all the gushing about, like, the red popping, sometimes there were things that were happening where I felt like the red popped out against the really dark black background, and I just felt like something else was missing. And yeah, okay, you can call this nitpicking, but like in the motorcycle chase, you have Athena and Ares going after Eve. They're both trailing red, but she doesn't really have, Eve doesn't have anything trailing her, and I get that she's like just a human, but I thought there was something they could have done there. With the story, I'm a little over this like purity versus greed destroying the world battle shit. Like, there's a reason that people like Tony Soprano, and there's a reason people like Larry David. Like, there's some authenticity, even though they're not great people, you still can get behind them. I'm just kind of over this, like, oh, I'm making a tree that can grow in Antarctica so that way it's sustainable, versus me, I want all the money in the world and I want to get money from my investors and get money from the government. Like, I wish they could have come up with a slightly different, more believable story. Maybe this comes from the fact that they stuck it under Disney rather than sticking it under one of the like legacy Fox brands like Searchlight or something. But I just like, come on, man, let's think of something else. I felt like there was one regeneration too many. I thought with the last big battle as Athena's coming, I thought that could have been wrapped up in the prior one. And it was just that one time where I was like, oh, wait a minute, there's still more. And I looked at my watch. And my last thing is, I love Evan Peters. I've been a huge fan of him ever since the first American Horror Story. It feels like Disney is like trying to get him a franchise since they purchased all of the Fox studio assets. And it just doesn't seem like anything can fit for him. And I don't know. They clearly set Tron up for a sequel. Maybe this is it for him. I don't know, but I would like to see him succeed. I just don't know if this is it. So, Kyle, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, let me just talk about that last one for you, because I've watched all the American Horror Stories, and I'm like, this didn't really feel as much as I felt like they nailed the Jared Leto casting. I don't feel like they nailed the casting on the other end. And like the one minor thing that really bothered me is he's clearly got these amazing tattoos that are going to be all over his body. Why not show those? I was waiting for him to see those tattoos. Like, he reveals himself. He has some kind of like takes off his shirt and he's like, and it's like all these tattoos are like, whoa. But like that didn't really happen. I didn't love the casting choice for that one. I'm with you. I like him in American Horror Story, but because of American Horror Story and what we've seen him as, that's kind of what we expect him to be, and it didn't really work for Tron for me. So that's a good call, Eric.
All right, cool. Yeah. So, but overall, again, I kind of want to reiterate, it felt very nitpicky to me to come up with these, what I didn't like. So, Kyle, I have my guess for you, and I have ChatGPT's guess. I would love to hear your score.
Okay, so I'm going to preface this, and I'm going to make a note on the spreadsheet that says, like, I saw this one in the theater, because I do think this is going to have a massive impact on the overall score, because this is a theater score and something worthy of being in the theater. So overall for me is a 9.05, making this movie number 38 on the spreadsheet. So this is a really high-scoring movie, and I can give you my categories real quick. I think entertainment 9.5, achievement of goal 9, ending 8, length 8, no penalty. Eric, what did you think I was going to be at for this one?
I was feeling 6.8. I thought you were going to enjoy it, and I thought you were going to think it was good. I just didn't think you were going to like it as much as you did. Mm-hmm. So ChatGPT had you at a 7.65. So both of us both of us, me and the AI, both were way under. I'll just call out my score, 7.1. That's not a bad score. That's way above average, and it sits alongside some other good movies. I forget where it sits, and I can look in a second, but it's definitely worth the watch, and I agree. You got to go see it in the theater.
What did Ethan think about this one?
He thought it was good. He was like, I was entertained the whole time. So he either thinks things are good or horrible. Okay. And so it fell into the good category.
Okay. I will say, I think the one thing that really shocked me is I think I checked my phone one time for time. and that was in the motorcycle scene when they were downtown. I was like, okay, I wonder how much they have left, and that was it. So like one time checking your phone for 2-hour movie, pretty solid.
Yeah, absolutely. That the only time I checked my phone for the time was as we were getting towards the end, and you knew that the final battle was coming. I was like, we're really going to go through another 29 minutes. That was the only time that I looked at my phone. Mm-hmm. So, all right, Kyle, we would both love to know what you thought about the movie. Please comment your likes, dislikes, scores, and guesses, and we will read notable comments on next week's show. Coming up, we're going to discuss Bring Her Back, and then we're playing Hi, My Name Is, after we get through these dumb ads Prime Video forces us to watch. Before we get to the second movie, did you know Movie Night and Game Day was inspired by Kyle's channel, The Movie Spreadsheet? Kyle, tell us about your channel and what you've had going on over there recently.
All right, so I'm trying something different. The end of the F1 season is around the corner, and I've really got to thinking about, as Disney increases their streaming prices, I'm like, what service has the best movies? So I've just designed like this competition between the streaming services, in which I watch one movie from each of the major streaming services every 2 weeks, and then I compare them against each other. I'm gonna keep like a standings, like F1 style. I'm going to go live on Sundays to discuss it. Long form content comes out on Fridays. Check out the shorts. Check out all the videos, so you know if it's worth your time and if it's worth your money.
Kyle, I love that. There are so many choices, so give me the 3 that I need. Sounds great.
I love it.
All right. Welcome back to Movie Night and Game Day. We are getting ready to play the Movie Night and Game Day challenge, and then we are getting into this week's sports topics. But first, we got the movie Bring Her Back. So here is a little overview of the movie. It opens with some really disturbing footage of what appeared to be murders or suicides or combinations. It also seemed to be part of a ritual. And then the movie title comes in, and then we're in normal life. You got a teenage boy, Andy. He has a blind sister, Piper. They're living together. And then this is where things start to go a little bad. Their dad is found dead in the shower. We learn that the mom is gone, so they have to go to a foster family until Andy is old enough to take custody of Piper. So now we meet Laura, a somewhat eccentric foster family mom. Hot. Who is already taking care of another child. An aunt. Yeah, it reminded me of another aunt, and I've got that coming up. But there's another child there who's also mute, and I believe he was deaf. His name is Oliver. And then shit gets weird. And it starts slowly and builds. Like, Laura cuts some of the hair off Andy's dead dad. She describes the loss of her own daughter, Kathy. She uses deceit to put a wedge between Andy and Piper. And then we finally understand what's going on. That opening sequence video was an instructional guide for how to bring someone back from the dead. So the only question was, how far was Laura willing to go to bring her dead daughter, Kathy, back? Kyle, did I miss anything?
No. I'm so sorry for this one. My fault. All right, Eric, what did you like about this movie?
Well, I'm curious. You should apologize for last week's movie, but I don't know about this one. Well, first of all, the movie's real fucked up. I'll just start by saying that. So, look, to me, it actually, what I liked about it, it felt like, to me, a better version of Weapons, which was one of the first movies we watched on Movie Night and Game Day. I liked the plot better. I liked the build-up of what was going on better. And I liked how there wasn't constant timeline jumping. And Laura was a much more believable crazy aunt than the crazy aunt was in Weapons. And not that this is all about comparing the two movies, but that's just kind of like what came to mind. I also thought it was crazy. First, I can't imagine what it would be like to be blind, but imagine being blind and put into a situation like this where people are trying to deceive you. Like, I can only imagine what it would be like to be blind and then, throw a murderous, deceitful, crazy aunt on top of it. Um, I really pay attention to like the visuals and the sounds. Some of the sounds in this movie were like intense and insane, especially when you combine it with what was going on screen. And then at the end, when we had the interaction between Laura and then the counselor from DCF or the equivalent of DCF, knowing that shit was about to happen, I was on the edge of my seat waiting to see what was going to happen in the final few minutes of the movie. So those are some of the things I liked about the movie. Kyle, what did you think about that? What did you like?
I mean, I could do the exact opposite thing I did with Tron and be like, literally nothing, right? But like, okay. I'm gonna say this: I feel like everything was fair game in this movie. Like whatever your expectations are for this movie, everything is fair game. Expect to be like, I was shocked. Like you're describing like the sounds, and I'm literally over here like gumming my teeth because I don't like some of those scenes and some of those sounds made me feel absolutely sick to my stomach, and thinking about it still does. So I mean, that there's obviously something in that, right? Like if it makes you feel that way, that's definitely compelling storytelling or whatever, like visuals or however you want to describe that, sounds, editing, whatever it is. Like those things like elicit a visceral reaction from myself. So yeah, that's what I liked about the movie. Eric, what didn't you like about this movie?
All right, so there's a list. So I know I talked about that opening video. I know it was necessary for this movie because it kind of like set the stage, but I generally don't like starting with something like that graphic and then knowing that it's coming back because I'm just waiting for that to happen again. Again, it was necessary here, but I don't know. It's just an element that I usually don't like. I like the story to just build on its own. The combination of the cat, the hair, the urine, like, I guess it was all part of the ritual, but it wasn't really all that well explained. I guess it didn't have to be, but it just added a lot of nastiness that I don't know if it was necessary for this movie. And just in general, the gore was nasty. I'm going to give you a couple examples. Oliver eating the apple. Oliver eating the meat in the freezer. Piper trying to figure out what's around her by feeling stuff. Oliver eating other things. Oliver freaking out once he got past the white line. It was real intense and oftentimes just way too much. And then finally, this annoyed me, and I think this was half the reason. Well, maybe I shouldn't say this because you have to guess my score, but Laura, it's the end. You are so far into it. You have one more thing to do. You can't hold Piper under the water for 10 more seconds. You've already killed your friend. You've already killed the brother. You basically have killed Oliver, and you've been storing your daughter in a freezer for years. And you are like 3 seconds from being done, and then all of a sudden, that's when the emotion comes over you. That's when you decide to stop. I don't know. I don't get it. So, Kyle, that's what I didn't like about the movie. What didn't you like about the movie? What do you want to add to the list?
I mean, to quote you, there's a list, right? Like,
yeah,
we can just open with full frontal death, right? Completely unnecessary, right? I always feel like, again, I'll reference like teaching, a class about movies where we show, I learn about history through movies, and I'm always like, does this scene add anything to the movie? It doesn't. It's like, why does it need to be there? The dad just full frontally dying and the barf on it. It's just the gross. It's just like, what is going on? Two, the second note I took was literally, this movie's weird. I'm 15 minutes in, and I'm so terrified at where it's going to go from here because we know it's only going to get worse. And then at 25 minutes in, I said, it feels like it's been an hour. What have I done? What have I made us watch? This movie is going to be extremely penalty heavy. Cats meowing, the kids getting clawed sitting there in the pool. I'm like, what is going on? Then okay, I'm going to describe it. This is going to be really hard for me to describe because I hate teeth stuff. When he's like eating the knife. Oh my goodness! When he's like chewing on the knife, that was it for me. I just completely lost it. I long for the wrong Paris. Give me the wrong Paris after this movie. This would be, had I watched it late at night, this would be where I would have to watch like Curb Your Enthusiasm or something right after it to burn it out of my mind. I'm at a loss of words. This movie was awful. And I got to tell you, and I'm going to tell you this before you give me your rating. IMDb right now for this movie is a 7.2. Rotten Tomatoes is at 89%. Mind blowing to me. Eric, what was your overall score for this movie? Or do you have anything else from this one that you want to discuss? Because there's a lot.
I know. I mean, that's why I called it eating the apple, because if you want to go up to the knife, well, yeah. So, no, I'll give you my score. So my overall score was a 5.8. I think for a gory mindfuck scary movie, it actually did pretty well. I just think it took a couple things, a few too many steps too far. And I took off every distraction point that I could, partially because the ending annoyed me. It really annoyed me. It's like, you're there. Like, just finish it. And it was like the gore was just too much. So I was entertained. I was on the edge of my seat for so long in this movie. And I think if you are going for a thriller, scary movie that is like playing mind games, and you need to then put on something light to calm yourself down, I think it did what it set out to do. So that's why I give it a 5.8. It's not a great score, but it's also not the wrong Paris. So Kyle, what was your guess for me, and what did ChatGPT put me at?
So I was really conflicted because I was thinking like, hey, I'm going to put this really low for Eric. Then I was like, but ChatGPT is going to put it really high. So if my goal is to beat ChatGPT, I need to put it as low as I possibly can, that I can still ensure ChatGPT is going to be over it. So I said you'd be at a 5, and ChatGPT said you'd be at an 8. And so I was like, this is a perfect score.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, if I was actually predicting it, I think I would have gone way lower. I think I would have gone like 2.5, 3, somewhere in that region.
Yeah, I don't know what it says about me. I'm not giving it Rotten Tomato scores, but it's certainly not that low. What was your score for the movie?
This is the second worst movie in my spreadsheet. This is a 0.0. This is 0.50. This movie is just as bad as it gets for me on every level. Like it doesn't make sense where they show the graphicness to it. Completely unnecessary. I really, really didn't like this movie. And when I saw that it was from the South Australian Film Corporation, I knew it was going to be something completely insane, because Australian horror movies, they take it to another level. I don't like gore in movies. It doesn't scare me at all. Like if this is a horror movie, I'm not scared. I'm just grossed out. I don't rate movies that gross me out really highly.
Where was Human Centipede made?
I don't know.
Was that Australia?
I don't know. I would have to.
Okay.
I would have to check that out.
We can check it out. We can come back to that like next week. But okay, second worst movie on your spreadsheet. That is a record. I think The Wrong Paris is the worst on mine, or maybe the second worst. So we've hit some pretty lows. How about that, Kyle? Though you have a super high and a super low this week.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because I watched this one first, and it tanked my overall score on the spreadsheet. And sorry, I said 0.50. It's actually 0.175. So it's my second lowest. My lowest is a 0.05. It actually brought it way down, and then I watched Tron, and Tron pumped it way back up. So it kind of kept the average balance right where it was. But yeah, a high and a low.
All right. Wow, that's crazy.
Low.
Yeah, it was the movie was something else. I think we can both agree on that. We want to know what you thought of the movie. Please let us know your likes, your dislikes, your scores. Put them all in the comments. We'll read notable comments on next week's show. All right, Kyle, at the end of the episode, we have to pick movies for next week to figure out who's picking first. We've got a challenge to complete. This week we're playing Hi, My Name Is. So tell us all how this game works.
All right, so I know you love watching sports. Obviously, we both do. There's an awesome show that not many people watch unless they watch international soccer. It's called Champions League Today, and it's got this awesome cast of Kay Abdo, Thierry Henry, Micah Richards, Jamie Carragher, and they play this game called Hi, My Name Is, and what they're ultimately trying to do is trick each other into guessing who the professional or what player they are describing. And what they always try to do is they always try to get one of them to say it's them, but it's really not. So we're going to be doing a modification of this. We're going to be playing Hi, My Name Is for actors. Each clue that we give is going to get progressively easier, and we're hoping that we can get it right after 5 clues. If you get it right on the first clue, it's 5 points. If you get it right on the second clue, it's 4 points, going all the way down to 1 point if you get it on the 5th clue. We're each going to choose 3 people, and the person who has the most points will get to choose the movie first this week. Eric, any questions?
No, it makes sense to me. For one of yours, you might have to take the word actor with a grain of salt. It applies, but you might have to take it with a grain of salt. I'll just leave it at that. Kyle, who wants to give clues first?
I have no preference here. I'm going to defer to you. I'm still thinking about bringing her back. It's really messing me up.
Okay. I will. You can play. We'll alternate. So
Okay.
Why don't you play first?
Okay.
I have 3 names for you, so you can pick number 1, 2, or 3 to start.
I'm just going to go in order. Let's go to number 1. Boom.
Number 1. Okay. First clue. These are all in first person. So hi, my name is. Clue number 5, the hardest one. I starred in a film directed by Ang Lee long before my most famous role. Ang Lee? How do you say his name? Ang Lee? I think it's Ang Lee.
I don't know. Next clue.
All right, so we're down to 4 points. I shared the screen with Leonardo DiCaprio more than once, both early and late in my career.
Am I Kate Winslet?
You are not.
Damn. All right, clue 3.
Clue 3. Despite how I look, I was almost 30 when I played a high school student.
Almost 30 when I played a high school student? I don't know. Emilio Estevez.
No, not Amelia Estevez. All right. Clue 4, 2 points. I traded my superpowers for Gatsby's parties in 2013.
I traded my superpowers. Wait, am I Leo? No,
you are not Leo. You can take another guess.
I traded my superpowers for Gatsby's parties in 2013. Who was in Gatsby besides Leo? Am I Tobey Maguire?
Well done. Yes. Yeah, the last clue was going to be I was your friendly neighborhood protector in my blockbuster role.
Okay.
So you 2 points. Well done. That's great.
I'll take 2.
All right. I hope I came up with I hope I made it. The difficulty level was what you were looking for.
No, that was great. That was absolutely perfect. All right, you ready? All right, so I created now. I came super prepared. I created 12. So you can choose 1 through 12, and I've titled my rounds as well. So I'm going to give you the title. Go ahead, Eric. 1 through 12.
Okay. Give me number 3.
Okay. So this one is called round 3, the modern star. All right.
Okay.
I once played a soldier in a Christopher Nolan war film.
Ben Affleck.
It is not Ben Affleck.
Okay.
Clue number 2. I've starred alongside Florence Pugh and Margot Robbie in separate films.
Okay. So, Margot Robbie, Florence Pugh, war movie with Christopher Nolan. All right, give me the third clue.
I've appeared in both the Marvel and DC universes.
Okay. Jeez. You got me confused. I don't know. We got to go to the next clue.
My breakout role came from a boy band stage.
Uh, the only thing I can think of, and this is, well, no, that's not breakout role. Um, oh, I'm thinking of a movie where Tom Hanks was in it.
No, I would think like your first clue. I once played a soldier in a Christopher Nolan war film. I would think that one plus my breakout role came from a boy band stage. So like they were in a boy band. So who has been in a boy band?
Oh, is it Justin Timberlake?
It's not Justin Timberlake.
Okay, go to clue
5.
number 1.
I wore a sequined jumpsuits on a 2022 world tour.
Did I have the right band but the wrong person?
No.
Okay.
Way more modern.
Oh, it's yeah. It's I know the boy band. It's One Direction.
It is.
It is is it Louis Tomlinson?
It's not Louis Tomlinson.
Is it Liam Payne?
It's not. No, it's the other one.
Then who is it?
It's Harry Styles.
Harry Styles. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Did you see Dunkirk?
No.
Oh, really good. He was really
what was
good
he in with? So when you were saying boy band stage, I was thinking a movie about boy bands. That's why I got confused. So I appreciate your help there. What was he in with Margot Robbie? Do you remember?
It says Barbie.
Oh, I don't even remember him in Barbie.
Harry Styles.
All right.
But let's fact check.
That's okay. That's it. No, I believe you. Barbie, I only saw it once. That's okay. I'll take no points. I think I can make it up on future rounds.
Okay.
Kyle, do you want number 2 or number 3?
Let's go number 2.
Okay, we're just gonna go in order. All right,
Yeah.
Number 2. First clue, worth 5 points. Before my action roles, I was flipping houses early in my career.
No, I'm just gonna go Bruce Willis.
Good guess with action roles, right? All right, next clue. I was nominated for an Oscar for my bomb disposal skills.
Oscar for bomb disposal skills?
Yeah.
Disposal skills. Okay, so we're gonna go. Let's look at Hurt Locker. Let's go with. Oh my God, Ewan McGregor.
It is not Ewan McGregor. Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
I've shared the screen with Cruise, Adams, and Olsen, often spanning different universes.
Jeremy Renner.
Yep.
Oh, I freaking knew it on the last one.
I know. I thought you were going to say it right there. I was trying to not let my face give it away. So number 2, or I'm sorry, clue 4, 2 points. Even without superpowers, my most famous character never misses his mark. And finally, despite my weapon being seemingly old, it's what is most recognizable about my most recognizable part when avenging wrongs. So well done. You're up to 5 points. That's great.
Oh, that bothers me. All right, Eric, what number do you want?
You're all right. I want number 7.
All right, number 7 is yeah.
All right, I can't wait to hear the title of this one.
This one's called Modern Leading Lady.
Modern Leading Lady. Okay.
I've been a stormtrooper, a replicant ally, and a jazz singer's partner. Now, look, I wouldn't get too hung up on the I've been a stormtrooper because that wasn't in a movie. That was in, like, a skit.
Yeah. No, I was what was the other one? Not the jazz singer's partner?
A replicant ally.
A replicant ally. A jazz singer's partner. Modern Leading Ladies. I don't know why, and I'm sure this is wrong, but I want to say Lady Gaga.
It is not Lady Gaga. That's a good guess, though.
All right. Number 4. Or 4 points.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've sung live in multiple films.
I've sung live. God, I'm thinking, and this might be wrong, but I'm thinking it's whoever the leading lady was in La La Land, which was that Margot Robbie?
It is not Margot Robbie.
Okay. All right. All right. Next clue.
I've shared the screen romantically with Ryan Gosling, Oscar Isaac, and Andrew Garfield.
Okay. Who was it in La La Land? Okay. Now I feel like you the last time, except I don't know this person's name. Uh, is it Emma Stone?
It's Emma Stone.
Yes.
Great job. 3 points.
I'll
Big
take
3
it.
points there.
I'm excited about that one. All right.
3 points.
What were the other two? What were the other two clues?
The next one was I won an Oscar for a musical, but lost one for playing a tennis legend. And
Okay.
then the last one was my most recent transformation involved red hair in a Frankenstein remake.
Okay. I'm glad I got it off those earlier ones because the later ones would not have helped. So that's great. All right. Are you ready for your last one?
Yeah, let me ask you a question real quick though. Totally random.
Shoot.
Are you excited for the new Frankenstein remake that's coming out that they've made a bunch of hype about? They've shown previews for it. Have you seen the previews for it?
I don't know.
I think Christian Bale's
I don't
in it?
think I don't remember. I'm gonna have to watch it for next time. Only reason is when I go see something in the theater, my ass is sitting down as Nicole Kidman is showing up on the screen. So I try to avoid the previews as much as I can.
You're like conditioned when you hear Nicole Kidman's voice in your house. You're just naturally like, what's happening? I've just gravitated toward my seat. All right, let's do fact number 3 or person number 3. Let's go.
All right, person number 3 for you. You're sitting at 5 points. I'm at 3.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So, okay. All right. So that's where we are right now. Round 3. Here we go. Hardest clue. I got into the business first by recommending movies to customers behind the counter at a video rental store.
God, who we're gonna? For some reason, I want to say Tom Hanks just because of that one movie we saw. Let's go Tom Hanks.
Okay. Not Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
And that is not like a role. Literally worked at a video rental store. So, just don't want to throw you off. Clue 2, 4 points. Usually my appearances in movies are brief. Sometimes very chatty. Sometimes I play a dead person.
Sometimes very chatty. Sometimes I play a dead person. My roles in movies, I play a dead person. I feel like that's the clue. That's very chatty.
And also, usually my appearances in movies are brief.
I don't know. I'm missing a brief. Who's briefly roles in movies? Let's just go I don't know. Tina Fey.
No, not Tina Fey. All right. My early successful screenplays included stories about a pair of murderers who were born that way.
Wait, say it again. It broke up on me.
My early successful screenplays included stories about a pair of murderers who were born that way.
Quentin Tarantino.
Boom. Very good. Next one was my movies are pretty recognizable from the nonlinear storytelling, the unmistakable dialogue, and the blood. And I'm mostly known for my writing and directing, having written one with Uma Thurman and having cast her many times. So
Okay. That was good. That was hard.
You're up to
Yeah.
You're up to 5. What'd you say?
I said that was good. I think hearing the rest of those clues, I think had I not got it after 3, I don't think I would have got it after 4 or 5. For some reason, I was thinking
All right.
more obscure little. All right, are you ready? So you can't choose 3 and you can't choose 7, but there are 12 total. Which one do you want to choose?
I am going to go with, let's go with number 12.
Okay. This one's called Oscar Snub female edition.
Oscar snub.
Oscar snub, female edition.
Oscar snub, female edition. Okay, let's hear it.
Clue number 1. I've been nominated 6 times and still haven't won.
I had a guess, but I think she has won. What leading? Well, maybe she's not leading. I don't know. I can't even come up with a guess because everyone I think of it, I can see them having won. What's the next clue?
No, you guys take a guess here because this is the tie.
Okay.
So you gotta have us.
Well, my guess would be 6 times. My guess would be
I've been nominated 6 times and still haven't won.
Yeah. What's James Cameron's wife's name? But I think she won for The Hurt Locker. But maybe you're thinking more of an actress. I'm just going to say Jennifer Lawrence.
It's not Jennifer Lawrence. All right, clue number 2. I've played a princess, a journalist, and a linguist. I've played a princess,
a journalist, and a linguist. The last movie that I remember with a linguist was The King's Speech, although not to give anything away, he wasn't really a linguist. A journalist. Is it Mrs. Maisel?
No.
Whatever that actress's name is. I don't know. I don't have a guess.
Wait, Mrs. Maisel. What's her name? What's her actual name?
Yeah, she was just Lois.
No.
Lane.
No.
What was her name?
Rachel Brosnahan. I hated her as Lois Lane too, for the record.
Okay. Number 3.
I've acted opposite Leo Bale, and Meryl Streep.
Leo, Bale, and Meryl Streep.
That's a hard clue. That's a really hard clue.
Is it? Okay. Kate Winslet.
No. But I think we're getting closer to the ballpark.
Okay.
I've been in movies such as Enchanted, Julie and Julia, and Arrival.
Oh, I almost picked this person from Arrival for you. And now, of course, her name is escaping me. It's the actress from Arrival that you love, and I can't think of her name. Give me the last clue.
The last clue is the Academy keeps saying maybe next year, Amy.
Okay. Amy Schumer? No, is it Amy Adams?
It's Amy Adams.
Okay. All right. Hey, I'll take a point. That's not bad. For the audience at home, Kyle's he's got all of this locked up here. It's pretty. I remember obscure radio stations in the middle of nowhere and the call letters and who owns them.
Okay,
Kyle remembers all of that stuff. So you got 8 points. I got 4. You're picking first, which I'm upset about, but I think I'm going to be able to squeeze in the movie that I really want us to watch. So, all right, that was fun. I enjoyed that. You've got 9 more, so we could play this again for 3 more weeks. That's exciting.
Easy peasy.
All right. So with that, we've got our winner. That means Kyle, he gets to pick first when we're choosing next week's movie at the end of the episode. And with that, the lights are coming up. Credits are rolling. It's time to wrap movie night. But that means it's time to go find our seats and sit down. So we can get into game day. It's where we're passionate about sports, and we each bring a couple topics that we want to talk about. Kyle, what do you have going on this week?
I mean, besides the Mariners, just like the team that everybody's crapped on, right? Everybody's like kind of been crapping on it. And let me tell you, all the people on X and post online about how this is going to be the least viewed ALCS and this is going to be bad for baseball. Au contraire, this is the highest ratings that Major League Baseball has had in the ALCS in the last 10 plus years. It's become something to watch because it's not the same teams. And look, Major League Baseball needs a salary cap. They don't have a salary cap. And because you don't have a salary cap, you don't get parity. And I know the NFL is tries to do parity, and because of what they do and all the stuff going on in the NFL, which I'm not going to talk about this time, Major League Baseball needs a salary cap so that more teams have the opportunity to compete, so that more markets can watch it, so that more people can watch different teams play. It turns out people love watching Seattle play. It turns out people love watching Toronto play. And what was dubbed by somebody as like the ALCS of no names, like has turned into like a thing that everybody's watching. And then the NLCS, which has the Dodgers, which everybody wants to watch, supposedly, is not performing as well. So let me just say this. I love the fact that the Mariners are in it. Obviously, huge Mariner fan. But I'm really hoping that we get a Mariner and we get a Brewer World Series, because then that'll mean the Mariners become the last team to make the World Series. They're the only Major League Baseball team that hasn't made a World Series. They even brought in 2 new expansion teams in the late 90s that made the World Series ahead of them. And if whoever wins, the Brewers or the Mariners, would also be a first-time World Series champion. So that's what I'm going for. It's not looking likely out of the NLCS because of the Dodgers. And then also I got to say, like, as a fan of like a losing city, I've just been conditioned to expect the worst thing. So even though the Mariners are have won 2 games, I'm expecting us to lose the next 4 and crash out 4-2, just because that's the way I've been conditioned to be. And Eric, I know as like a Saints fan, you probably feel the same way. Like, this isn't our year after year, even when it could be your year. So Eric, any thoughts on my take about the baseball?
Well, first of all, yeah, the MLB desperately needs a salary cap. And look, there are so many different ways you can do salary caps. There are so many different ways that you can try to introduce parity. I understand what you say about the NFL a lot, but at least, not to give the NFL credit, but at least they're trying, Baseball is just so far in the opposite direction. It's insane that you can have teams just like the Dodgers just pay obscene amounts of money. The only thing that I will say that is kind of refreshing is that it doesn't always mean you win. But a salary cap is definitely needed. I do, along with the ALDS, and this was something that I was going to talk about in my segment, but it makes sense right here. So I have a question for you about etiquette.
Let's go.
So you're a Seattle fan. It went to Game 5 in the division series. Is it okay to say to someone like you won, but is it okay to say something like, wow, that was really exciting. I loved how close the series was the whole time, knowing that you won? I would never say that to like a Blue Jays fan, but is that okay? And let me give you the background. There have been a lot of times where I've watched a Saints game and it's been close and back and forth the entire time, and we eke it out by a point. My emotions are done. My heart has sunk into the pits of my stomach. I don't want to hear anyone tell me it was an exciting game. I barely even want to hear anyone tell me congratulations on the win. Like, I need time off. So what are your thoughts on that?
So just clarify, you're asking me, is it okay for me as a Mariner fan to say to like a Tiger fan, like, hey, that was like a really good game? Is that what you're asking?
No, is it okay for me as a non-interested party? Like, I'm obviously supporting Seattle for you, but at the end of the day, no offense, I don't really care. I want to see something exciting on TV. So is it wrong for me to say something to you like, that series was so exciting, it came down to the wire, I was paying attention the whole time, glad you guys won? Is that okay, or do you not want to hear that? Do you just want to hear the congratulations on the win?
I mean, I honestly don't really care. Like, because like if I'm going to be brutally honest, it's like, look, I have my thread with people that I'm watching this game with, and we all care. And so like, So I'm on this like with my sister and we're texting. Like, so at one point my sister had to go take one of her kids to bed during the Tigers game, the 15 inning game. And it was like our best inning defensively in extra innings. And I was like, she was like, what just happened? I'm like, I don't know. We just went like 1-2. It was so easy. And she's like, I should stay in her room, right? I should like stay in the room. And I'm like, yes, you stay in the room. And so like when you have that level of commitment going on to a win, and like her daughter ended up falling asleep and she was like laying in there, and I was texting her the update. She wasn't watching the game, so that I could text her the update as to what was happening, because we were convinced that like if we broke up what we were doing, we were gonna lose the mojo. And honestly, when we hit, I got up out of my spot here and I stood in the kitchen and I was just peeking around the corner thinking, hey, maybe this is what the universe needs, is me to be in like a little bit different of location to shift everything up and let us get some hits. But no, I mean I don't need like a, hey, that was a good game, like cheering for you, rooting for you, like cool. I appreciate you're trying to be connected to it, but as like a fan, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm not offended by it. Look, I would be super offended if we lost and you were like, really good season. I'd be like, go die, right? Like, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me. Good game. In fact, I saw a dude with a Tigers hat on at the game, at one of my kids' games, and I didn't say anything. I wasn't gonna be like, hey, that was a really good game. Like, no, it's the stupidest thing ever. So I guess to answer your question, no, I would just generally say like, don't say anything, because it's not like it matters. Like you said, you're exhausted. You're like, I have nothing left to give. That's why I needed yesterday. Yesterday was that day off because I was like, I need a break. But then now tonight, Mariners play at 7. We're Central Time. Like, it's going to be on late. I'm going to be up late. Kids are going to be up early. Yeah, that's a lot. I'm sorry. But, like, no, I don't think you should say anything. That's the answer.
Okay. All right. Well, and I appreciate the correction. I said Blue Jays. I meant the Tigers. So I appreciate that. But, Kyle, did you have another topic?
I mean, I always have like sports topics. I have so many sports topics. But do you want me to do another topic, or do you want me to let's just go into yours, or what do you want to do?
Well, no, well, because I didn't want to interrupt if you were going to keep going, but I another one of the topics that I was going to bring up, you just alluded to.
Wait, can I talk about one more thing that's driving me crazy about the Toronto Blue Jays? And this is going to actually tie in perfectly, and I'm going to plug your channel now, and I'll plug it again later. It drives me absolutely mad. Like I could like punch myself in the face right now. It drives me so crazy that all year I get this local play-by-play that I love with these people that I love on channel, and then I got to listen to friggin' John Smoltz and Joe Davis or whatever this guy's name is, and they're just trying to fill every freaking second during a baseball game. Be like, oh, if I pitched, I would do this, or in this situation. Like, I don't need you to explain the game to me. I know how the game works. I don't think the average fan even wants to hear this. And then in the middle, you're just going to cut to them carving up a turkey during Canadian Thanksgiving. Look, I'm sorry. There's only one Thanksgiving, okay? That's in November, right? USA. But seriously, like, what is going on? Just put the game on. Give me those local. Eric, why can't I get my local broadcasters during the playoffs? Why do I have to hear John Smoltz and Joe Davis or Eddie Davis, whatever his name is? Why do they get it?
Joe Davis, yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. So I mean, so the short and simple answer is that they're Fox's number one baseball broadcast team, and so they're gonna use their number one team to call the games, just like it was Joe Buck and John Smoltz before that. And I mean, I think you have to go back to the 90s before whoever it was before Joe Buck. But what I don't understand is, okay, Fox has the rights to one of the postseasons. Turner has the rights to the other side of the postseason. One thing I know about Fox, they have Big Fox Broadcast Network. They have FS1 and they have FS2. And if we look at Turner, they have TNT, TBS, True TV. So they both have 3. They both have 3. And I'm hitting the microphone, and I apologize while you edit later and for all of you at home. Why can't you put on Big Fox Joe Davis and John Smoltz, and then on FS1 you put the home team's local broadcast? You can run all the same ads, run all the same promos, do all the same shit, so everything that Fox sold. But then you get that version, and then on FS2 you put the away team, and you just do that the whole time. You get the viewers, you make these two people really happy because they have their people, and then you also make Fox and the general fan happy, And you can do the same thing on the other side. You have 3 channels over there. I don't understand why they can't do it. Yeah, it might be a little more expensive because you have to pay those announcers, but that's the kind of stuff like ESPN, when they do a mega cast for the college football playoffs, they always have multiple versions. So that way you can watch it the way you want to watch it. Or even Monday Night Football, you get both Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, or you get the Mannings. So the ability to do it is out there. And I think compared to every other sport, baseball screams for it more than any other one. But,
yes.
You know, Fox has the rights, and they want their people on their broadcast. I get it. But I think there are solutions that can work for everyone, and I don't know why they wouldn't work towards those solutions. So
I don't think they're doing a good job. Like, I am obviously heavily biased. I'm rooting for the Mariners, but it's like when the Tigers got up, it was like, oh, this is the best pitcher in baseball. He's unstoppable. He's not. And then a Mariner hits a home run. They're like, oh, lucky contact. How did that happen? It's like, shut up. Okay, shut up. And then in the ALCS as well, it's like the love they've shown towards the Blue Jays has been insane to me. And then with the Mariners, it's like, this is a team that nobody thought would be here with these pitchers. It's like, what are you talking about? This is, we've been seeing this coming. We've been waiting for this to come. We have a catcher that hit 60 home runs this year. What are you talking about? Nobody saw this coming. This is insane to me. You guys are idiots. So I have, like I said to you, you asked me, you sent me a text like, what do you think about this broadcast? And I'm being sincere when I say this. I listen to the broadcast as low as I possibly can to hear the crack of the bat, because the crack of the bat is what tells me where the ball is essentially going to go, if it's a home run, like all these things, whatever. But I don't want to hear these idiots on TV talk about this game. I want to hear my local affiliates. I don't want to hear them at all. I just want to hear the sounds of the game. That's it. That's my rant. Let's go Mariners. That's what I got.
All right. I hear you. You are not alone. This is what you hear all over baseball. And I've heard Joe Buck interviewed multiple times on many different podcasts. And there was a thing trending on Twitter for the longest time, hashtag I hate Joe Buck. And he's been asked, is it because of the NFL? And he said, no, not to brag. People love me on the NFL. It's MLB, and it doesn't matter if it's me. Whoever's in that role is just going to get it. And sure enough, Joe Davis started getting it as soon as Buck was gone. I do find it really interesting, though. Buck left, and now everyone is saying, bring back Joe Buck. I don't think that would really satisfy everyone, but...
No, I just don't like it when they try to walk the middle ground. Like, look, everybody, like, if we're going to be like, everybody has biases, right? Like, what we do. So, like, give me a station that is biased toward my team. Give us another station that's biased toward somebody else's. And then you can have that third station, like you said, that's like middle of the road, wishy-washy, like, hey, here's a fun thing about baseball, and here's some fun facts that are going on. Like that, I don't want that. Just give me my local affiliate. Done.
Yeah. I would also love to see them do this with the NBA postseason. And again, they all have the ability now. Amazon, they can fire up as many streams as they want. ESPN has multiple options. NBC, when you throw in Peacock as well, they all have the ability. And the NBA isn't as bad because it's half the amount of games, but it's still the same thing. If you watch, 80 games with your local announcers, then it goes to the postseason and you're shoved into the national guys, it still is just jarring. All right, Kyle, I got a couple things to touch on.
Let's do it.
And one is related to what you were talking about, you and your sister with the Mariners game. Superstitions in sports. So I have to start with a big apology to Who Dat Nation. I wore the wrong shit on Sunday, and they lost. And I was sitting there, I was getting some work done while I was watching the game, and we're doing well, so I'm not really thinking about it. And then it, goes, the wrong direction in the second half, and I look down. I wasn't wearing the same stuff that I wore the week before at the Giants game. So I apologize to all the Saints fans. I am wearing my Spencer Rattler jersey, just so everyone can see. But I'm wearing it now because it's Thursday, so it's not game day, and I will go back to what worked, so that way we can hopefully beat the Bears. But Kyle, I'd love to know like your thoughts, like agree or disagree. Wearing lucky clothes, you wear them and you don't wash them until it stops working. Agree or disagree?
No, I believe in washing them. I would say I'm definitely less superstitious as a fan than I am as a player. But for playing wise, yeah, I would try to get away with like not unwashed baseball pants for multiple games in a row. Or if I got injured wearing a pair of shoes, I would never wear that shoe brand again. Just stuff like that. So as a fan though, yeah, whatever you think works is the right answer. That's the answer. So if you think like not washing it or washing it, whatever you want to do, whatever gets your team to win. And this week you obviously let your team down.
Obviously, 100%. I also like how you say you're not as superstitious as a fan, but you told your sister to stay in the bedroom. Agree or disagree? You choose the same seat or the same spot or the same sitting, position or the same viewing location, and if it's working, you don't change it. Agree or disagree?
Man, this is so tough for me because now that like if you can control it, yes, you should obviously be in the same spot. But I think the mojo changes. I think you gotta find the different mojo for each game. But that spot should kind of evolve and adapt based off what is going on in terms of the games. So you start in your normal spot, and it's not going well. Maybe we got to shift. We got to remove a piece of clothing, something. I'm okay with that.
Okay. Food choices, beverage choices, do those impact the outcome of the game?
No. I mean, like, look,
okay.
But I'm a person like gut health, like, right? You got to eat the right stuff, so
Okay, 2 more. Talking about the expectations of the outcome of your
100%. 100%. Shut your freaking face. I don't want to hear like, hey, are we? Hey, somebody's like, hey, are we going to the? Shut up. I don't want to hear it. No. Shut up, you idiot. Don't blow it for me. I understand you're jumping on the bandwagon. You don't know what it's like to have been there in 2001, the last time we were any good at all, and been there in 95. Like, shut your freaking face. We're not going to the World Series. Shut up and watch the game, and if just watch, okay? Shut up.
Okay. All right. And the last superstition that I want to know your thoughts on, does betting on your team impact the outcome of the game?
Yes. 100%. And listen to this. I don't like to bet because I like to buy stuff, and when I bet I lose. I will always bet against my team because then if they lose, I get the proceeds of a win, especially when my team is good. So when the Seahawks are really good, I would always bet against the Seahawks because I was like, look, if we win, oh well, I don't care about losing however much money I lost because we won. But if we lose, I'll at least have a little bit of extra money from betting against my team. So a little Pete Rose there. Just kidding. Not Pete Rose.
Yeah.
He never bet on his team.
So just to, I go to the Pelicans games. Bet Rivers had a promo going all season 2 years ago where if you opened the app once you were in the Smoothie King Center, you got loaded with a free $10 bet.
Whoa. Okay.
And so what I would do was every game I bet it on the opponent because I was like, if we win, I'm going to be happy. If we lose, at least I get free money.
Great points.
So I'm with you there. So I guess my only takeaway is superstitions are real. So get your shit together, wear the right stuff, sit in the right spot. If eating the right food impacts you, like, do it. And yeah, let's not talk about setting expectations or betting. We are fans. We have to do our part. All right, and then just quickly, I want to go into a discussion about gym etiquette. So I think you've talked about how people will go up to a piece of machinery, especially like weightlifting, and they like try to own it for hours at a time. But here's my pet peeve. Smells and odors are absolutely disgusting. And when you are taking deep breaths and like working hard doing cardio, or you're taking deep breaths during, like heavy lifting, the last thing you need to be ingesting is disgusting perfume or disgusting cologne smells. The other day I was on the elliptical and this woman was walking around and she clearly had just drenched herself in eau de toilette. It was disgusting. And that's all I could smell, and I couldn't breathe anymore. And then today I went to the gym, and I feel bad for the person. I don't know who it was, but clearly has like halitosis. Like, look, I understand that that's not your fault, but the entire building reeked of bad breath. Like, take care of that before you impose it on everyone else around you. So, Kyle, any thoughts about gym etiquette?
I have thoughts on everything. So let me say, like, again, from teaching wise, I've had to have conversations with multiple kids. Like, look, the conversations I have with boys, especially like the younger boys who are like 7th, 8th, 9th grade, is like, you guys don't smell, 6th graders, you guys don't smell like butterflies and rainbows anymore. You go outside, you run around, you stink. You need to put on deodorant. You need to wear deodorant. Look, and same thing for high school kids. I understand you want to be this free spirit and not wear deodorant. That's like, but you can't smell bad, because it's not that you are ruining the environment of everybody else. And my biggest pet peeve, Eric, is when somebody has body odor and then they use a spray over top of it. And what you get is you get the subtle smell of body odor with a spray over top of it. It flashback. It's a random flashback, crossing the Lake Washington Bridge in the middle of winter. We're all stuffed in this like Jeep when I was in high school, and they're like I was on a double date with my friend, and like his girlfriend or his person had just sprayed something, and you could smell her body odor, and it was just over top of, and it was so going over top of like the Victoria's Secret spray, and I was like, I'm gonna die in this car because the heat's on. It's like we're baking in it. I'm like, I gotta put it on the window. It's like wintry mix snowing outside. I'm like, this is like the worst experience of my life. So yes, Eric, absolutely, like gym etiquette. Like let's handle our smells. Sorry, that might not be PC, but
no,
handle our smells.
Yeah, handle your smells. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, just try to be aware. Try to be aware. All right, Kyle, that's all I got. The bases are loaded. We're in the bottom of the 9th. They're bringing out a new pitcher. So while all that happens, we're going to head to break. Coming up, we're going to assign the movies for next week and reveal a new subscriber challenge.
All right, we'll be assigning movies next, but before we do that, let's talk about Eric's awesome channel, The McMedia Report. I've learned so much from this, and I pepper him with questions all the time about why can't I get the freaking quad box for the games that I want. Eric, what is going on with the McMedia Report? Talk to me.
Yeah, so I just like to find news stories that I think are important and aren't receiving enough coverage, and I try to dig a little deeper into them without going much over 5 minutes and discuss the story, talk about why I think it impacts you and why you should care. And this week, thanks to a very savvy viewer submission, I'm going to talk about why the quad box on YouTube TV works the way it does and why you can't build your own. So that will debut this week. I would love for you to check it out.
I mean, we all want to know that.
Welcome
we all
back
want to
to
know, why can't I get a little Lord of the Rings in there when I'm watching some NFL games? Like, why is that happening? All right, Eric, go.
Yeah. We'll cover that. I will answer that question on the other channel. All right. Welcome back to Movie Night and Game Day. There's a pop fly to right field. A catch will end the game. But before we know the outcome, we've got to reveal this week's subscriber challenge. But right now, it's time to reveal next week's movies. Kyle, you won earlier. You got me by 3 points. That means you're picking first. What are we watching for next week?
I'm conflicted here, okay? Because I've got like 3 I'm looking at. I think you've seen the new Naked Gun, right? It just came out to Paramount.
I did.
Okay, so I'm not going to assign that. There is one on Netflix that I'm curious about your take on.
Spoiler alert! Don't watch it either.
It's not good.
All right, keep going.
There's 2 on Netflix that I'm curious about your take on. One is called The Women in Cabin 10, and the other is called Some Other Women. And then there's also one on Amazon called Dirty Play, which I need to watch that anyways from my other channel. Are you feeling one of those movies? I'm going to give you a little leeway here. Are you feeling one of those movies over the other ones? All right, let's
whatever you want to pick.
Let's do The Woman in Cabin 10. I'm really curious about your take on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's with Keira Knightley. It's on Netflix. It's number 1 on Netflix right now. So why not take a shot at this one? I definitely want to see like how you rate this one.
Okay, very good. Kyle, get excited. This one is available on Paramount Plus. Yes. We are going to watch Pet Sematary Bloodlines. I believe it came out last month. It might have come out in August, but I think it's a prequel to the Pet Sematary storyline. So I'm excited. Love Stephen King. Should be good. All right, so it's The Woman in Cabin 10 and Pet Sematary Bloodlines, both streamable. One's on Netflix, one's on Paramount Plus. That's what we're watching for next week. All right, now that we've got our movie assignments underway, Kyle, what do the subscribers have for this week's subscriber challenge?
Okay, here's what I got for you. I've got two. Like, why not put two out there, because it's just like whatever. One, classic Mariners throwback jersey. Identify the player on the back of it. This is from like the late 80s. This is an awesome jersey. Identify the player on the back of it. So that's the first challenge. And I got so many other challenges up right now. I should be giving out $5 left and right, but nobody is taking us up on those challenges. Remember, you got to be a subscriber, and then you just got to comment below the answer to the question, and I'll Venmo you $5. Okay. The other challenge is it's Halloween season right now. We got Fortnite has just updated their season to be all Halloween themed. If you get on Fortnite, we'll be on the same team. We get a win together. $5 goes to you. Let's do it. Bunch of challenges out there. You got to be a subscriber. You got to comment below. Eric, what else is going on?
I love it. All right, Kyle. Clock has reached 0. We've got a winner in the game. That also means it's time for movie night and game day to come to a close. Next week, we are watching The Woman in Cabin 10. That's on Netflix. And Pet Sematary Bloodlines. That is on Paramount Plus. We want you also to watch along with us, so that way you can comment your likes, dislikes, and your scores. And we really want you to like this episode. Subscribe to our channel and tell all your friends. We want 1 million subscribers. Kyle, before we go, any closing thoughts or comments?
Yeah, I got one. Look, I don't know why these stores are putting up Christmas stuff. It's too early. It's October. Why is Christmas stuff going up in stores? But let me tell you, there is one thing I'm very, very excited for, and that is the cinnamon scented pine cones. I buy those every year. Megs hates me for buying those. I'm obsessed with them. And this is crazy. They're $10 a bag at Walmart. They've never been that expensive. At Whole Foods, they're $5 a bag. How is the Whole Foods pine cone, scented pine cone, $5 and the Walmart one's $10? That doesn't make any sense. Stop putting up Christmas stuff before Thanksgiving. This is insane to me. What are we doing? Eric, have you noticed this? Am I going crazy? Like, what's going on? Halloween's not even over.
No, you're not going. You're not going crazy. But every year it does feel like it's earlier and earlier. But also I feel like every year we're like, oh my God, it's out so early. But Kyle, man, you're coming in hot this week. You're ready to go. The only thing I want to add in is, you remember at the beginning of the episode I said that LV and I went to dinner at Charlie's Steakhouse. We had a plan to go to Piccolo for gelato afterwards, and the power was out, so we drove up, all the lights were down. Oh, I was so upset. So I need to make a special trip over and get some of that amazing pistachio gelato. All right, Kyle, if our subscribers want more movies, tell them, where can they find your reviews?
Come to my channel, The Movie Spreadsheet. Look, everything is spoiler free. I give you ratings and rankings really quick. And my big thing is I want to save you time. I want to help you choose movies that you're going to like. And then you can obviously see the impact that movies have on the spreadsheet. So that's what I got. Eric, take us home.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Kyle and I. We will see you next week right here on Movie Night and Game Day.